Hello and welcome to Legacy Jewelry's April Diamond Care and Maintenance vlog. This vlog is, again, kind of with the tradition of our others, is going to talk about the history and lore, value factors, treatment and care, a little bit of history, and metaphysical properties. In regards to history and folklore, diamond probably made its first appearance in Europe during the Roman Empire, but it was mainly prized in India, the most ancient source of diamonds. The gem's name comes from Adamas, meaning unconquerable. For centuries, most people believed that diamonds were unbreakable. By association, diamonds became or came to be created with power to bless their owners with strength, courage, success, and enduring love. According to some old legends, diamonds are born from heavenly rain or lightning. Other traditions say that diamonds are splinters of broken stars. The Romans believed that Cupid's arrows were tipped with diamonds to pierce the hardest of hearts. There is a collection, and it is basically diamonds cut to where when you look at them from the table down, you will see arrows, and you look at them from the coulant up, you'll see hearts, or vice versa. But that is basically the type of coloration that you get when looking at an ideal cut diamond. And diamonds have been part of courtship for more than 500 years. In 1477, Archduke Maximilian of Austria gave Mary of Burgundy a diamond ring to symbolize his love and sealed their betrothal. Today, 8 out of 10 American brides receive a diamond engagement ring. And it is the birthstone for April, typically given as an engagement, but also on 10th, 60th, and 75th wedding anniversaries. Valuing diamonds is can be quite a complex process. And so for this vlog, we're just going to scratch the surface. We will do additional vlogs where we get into more detail on the 4Cs, which are color, clarity, cut, and carat. So color is normal market range is colorless to a light yellow, brown, or gray, typically yellows. If you get into the deeper colors or shades, they're classified as fancy, and it's a whole nother ballgame. But in the normal range, the closer to colorless, the higher the value. And with fancy colors, generally the value increases with the intensity of the color. So as you can see from the chart here, they've omitted A, B, and C because they didn't want people to associate it with like school grades. So the color scale starts at D and ends at Z. In regards to fancy colors, you can find colors such as red, pink, purple, green, blue, but they typically tend to be more rare and therefore more expensive. Clarity is stricter than the standards for diamonds are stricter than any other gem, and they're graded on a detailed scale that runs from flawless under 10 times magnification to obviously included to the unaided eye. So as you can see in this example, the picture actually has another gemstone in it. I believe this is a garnet, which when you're buying an engagement ring, you want to try to find a diamond that has less inclusions. But for some gem enthusiasts such as myself, I personally would love to have a diamond with a garnet in it. In the illustrated chart, you can see that on the far right, that would be an included stone, meaning that you can easily see the clarity characteristics in it. And then on the left-hand side is flawless, which are pretty rare. Um, I personally have not seen a completely flawless stone. I believe it's only been internally flawless. So they're pretty rare, and I've been in the industry for a while. The next value factor is cut. So it could be faceted in many different shapes and styles. The brilliant round is the most popular, and a lot of people think cut, they think shape. So they think round, square, princess cut, uh, emerald cut, and it's actually not specifically so much the shape, but it's the facets. So how it's cut, the symmetry and degrees of the cuts and whatnot that they're looking at when grading cut. Finally, of the 4 C's, you have carat, and that is kind of a widely used term throughout jewelry. You have carat being used to describe gold, which you'd have like 10 or 14 carat, but then you have carat for gemstones, which is going to be its weight. And I always have learned to refer to it kind of like pennies to a dollar. So each penny would represent a point in the stone, and that when you get to 100 would equal your whole 1 carat. It does come from the name uh, carob seed because they used to use those seeds back in the day to measure stones against. And on average, the typical engagement ring is about 1/2 carat, and the world's largest fashioned diamond of fine quality is the Great Star of Africa, also called the Culligan, and that was a whopping 530.20 carats. Pretty amazing. I believe it's in a museum right now. So in regards to how to properly care and maintain for your diamonds, they're one of the most sturdy, hardy gemstones that we deal with in jewelry. But you do have to be careful of some treatments that they may have received. So, for example, there's laser drilling followed by chemical bleaching, which is a common way to lighten dark inclusions. It's also pretty common to do fracture filling and filling of cleavages with a very special like glass substance that they use. Also, in fancy colored stones, they will use irradiation to intensify the color. So you'll see that in yellow, brown, blue diamonds. Um, there are several different methods, but they are typically combined with some sort of heating. And it's, like I said, used to just basically intensify those colors. Another related treatment is known as ion implantation, and that creates colors ranging from blue to black. So they can kind of manipulate the color based on those treatments. There's high pressure, high heat treatment, which removes some or all of the color from certain types of like light brown diamonds. It can also color other diamonds pink, blue, yellow, green, or orange. It's definitely typically used in black diamonds or diamonds that contain a lot of fractures. But the fracture surfaces convert to graphite, which makes the diamonds appear black. So it's kind of like tricky. But most diamond color treatments are permanent, so you don't have to worry about any special care. And because of the hardness of the diamond, you can put it in an ultrasonic, you can steam clean it, you can do your basically jewelry over the counter cleaners. Um, you just want to be aware. You definitely want to let your jeweler know if you're aware of any of the treatments that I mentioned. And then I have on here too, avoiding grease and lotion and chemicals. One of the ways that they sort diamonds is grease belts because they love them. They love grease. So if you want to keep your diamond bright and sparkly, try to avoid touching it a lot. So as far as the gemology or geology of diamonds, um, it's pretty much made up of almost pure carbon, and I think it's like 99.95%. And then it's very minimal any other elements that creep its way in. But it's one of the most purest materials found in nature, and it's the only gem composed of just one element. So the arrangement of carbon atoms in this gem is almost perfectly symmetrical in all directions. And so you're going to hear it called an isometric or cubic formation. Um, when you do get those minute amounts of other elements, such as nitrogen, that is what changes the shade of the diamond. So nitrogen is going to give you a more yellow stone, while if there's traces of boron, that's going to give you a more blue stone. When you get distortions in the crystal, so like when that structure is kind of interrupted, then you can get the browns, pinks, reds, and purples. Diamonds are formed many, many miles under the Earth's surface, and we really take for granted the amount of time and effort that it takes to retrieve them, because most of the time we can walk into a jewelry store and see hundreds, if not thousands, of diamonds. But they go through quite a tremendous journey. They're carried upwards from, maybe up to 120 miles underneath the earth by molten rock material that kind of, preserve them and keep them from being completely vaporized. Um, but they can be down there for, billions of years. And it's said that some of the youngest diamonds are almost still 1 billion years old. One of the top diamond producers is Botswana. Other important sources are Angola, Australia, Canada, the DR of Congo, Namibia, Russia, and South Africa. Those are probably where most people think diamonds come from. We actually even have a diamond mine in Arkansas where you can go and try to find your own diamonds. But that pretty much covers the gemology of it. Back to care. They have really good wearability, as you could guess, since so many people wear them on a regular basis. They are a 10 on Mohs scale of hardness and known to be one of the hardest materials. They're resistant to chipping and breaking, and um, not indestructible. So you got to realize the difference of resistant, but not completely resilient to that. if that's the right terminology. But there are clarity characteristics that can affect the durability of a diamond, like if it possesses cleavage, which is a tendency to break in a certain direction due to the crystal structure. And so if it gets, tinged just the right way, it will crack and break or like kind of sliver off. But they're pretty stable, so there's no routine concerns for gem owners. And as I said before, you can clean them with just, your basic detergent or water. Also, an ultrasonic is completely fine. And that's going to conclude our vlog for diamonds today. Like I said, there's so much information, and we are going to do additional vlogs and dive into the 4Cs in depth. So tune in for future vlogs.